Welcome to another episode of Redesigning Your Relationships podcast. I'm your host, Giovanna Burgess-White, with my co-host.
And all in one screen, I am Yvette Valdenegro. So happy to be here, just making sure our volume is up. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for being here. We're on part 3 of our self-love mini-series. But before we get into that, if you're watching live, welcome. We go live every single Wednesday. And if you're listening to us on a Friday, welcome. We have a podcast every single Friday for you. And in the month of February, we decided to do self-love. Although self-love should be every day, every minute of your life. We have these beautiful mini-series that we've been bringing to you. And today is part 3. We're going to talk about top tips for self-love in 2023. And if you haven't listened to part 1 and 2, we are doing them every month, mini-series. We do recommend you go back because they do layer upon each other and they just give you some great descriptions on what self-love is and how to decode self-love in 2023. And again, today we're going to talk about the top tips. Excited?
Yay. Okay. I want to thank everybody, first of all, for just the encouragement on our series that we've been doing. Thank you. But I also want to say, share those comments also in the comment area. We said last time, we're going to make it super easy for you. Just give one word, something that you learned, something that meant something to you. Doesn't matter what it is, just one word to describe how you're feeling while you listen to the series would be really helpful because you're going to help someone else too. So thank you for everybody and all of your great feedback.
Yep.
So yes, self-love.
All right.
Let's just go into it.
This is different because there's only one screen on the side. So let me get with tech real quick. Let's take this down. All right, perfect. So I know it's like, what's happening? All right, here we go. Self-love. We're just going to go through the definition again. Still go back to part 1 and part 2, but self-love is a state of appreciation for someone that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth.
Yeah. It's also having a high regard for your own well-being and happiness.
And taking care of your own needs and not sacrificing your well-being to please others. I like all of them, but that's my favorite definition.
Yeah. Okay. So what we wanted to do, you can go into the next one. What we wanted to do is just talk about some tips, right? About what self-love is and what it is not. Okay.
Yeah, it went straight into that side.
Oh, crazy. Okay. So top 2. So the first 3 are all going to be in bold type right now. You just see 2 because we really feel like the top 3 are probably the most, I should say, for the year 2023, because we really wanted to make this like, what are women going through right now? And then the next 7 are great tips, but it's like, wow, if you do these things, the top 3, you're going to go a long way. So the first one is probably the number 1 of a lifetime. Put you first. The first thing you can do with just loving yourself, by the way, all of these are hopefully outside the box things that you can think about. It's not going to be a general, like, go sit in a bathtub, which that's one of my favorite things to do. So I'm not putting that down, but this is really like, let's take it to the new and next level. So put yourself first. And this is first because it's probably going to be the hardest for all of us. We think about everyone before ourselves, but we've got to learn to do it. And we have the identity gap, but that would help you, the series before that we've done. But this is really just, I think, a huge hurdle for people to get around because our mindset is to help others first. But of course, we always use the scenario that you've got to put your own safety oxygen mask on first before you can help anyone and save anyone around you.
The second one, I know some of y'all are going to be like, no, can't do it. You got to do a social media detox, but it may not be a full detox. We're not saying like get rid of it.
Mm-mm.
And this is also going back to putting yourself first. I think we'll add it in the notes. You got to put in time, the time blocking for you, the time blocking for maybe doing social media a little bit during the day, but definitely turn off social media. We absolutely recommend it too in the evening. Like just be done. Enjoy the rest of the night for you. Don't be on your phone right before you go to bed. And yes, I'm talking to you because I'm actually talking to me, talking to you, talking to me. I don't know what it is about like, hey, I'm just going to jump online real quick before I go to bed. And then it's like, you think you're going to just jump on and just look at Instagram and just check out how the reels are going. And then all of a sudden an hour and you're like, what did I just do? I was supposed to go to bed. And now in your brain, This is a proven fact. That's why people shouldn't be on their phones after a certain time of night. Your brain's going and then you don't sleep. So whatever social media detox means to you, we're going to recommend you do that.
Yeah. And social media, also the detox, is because unfortunately we're doing too much of comparison. We're not getting on. Let's just be real. Do you get on social media to be like, oh my gosh, I want to see? Yes, I'm sure. I want to see what everybody's doing. How fun is this? But a lot of it's like, what are they doing? What did she just say? How does that compare to what I'm doing? How many likes do they have? Did anyone comment? And all those things of, or even just, oh my gosh, she's changed her branding. I need to do that too. Oh my gosh, she was on there for 60 seconds and I only did 30 seconds. It's like, you don't mean to do it, but we're doing it. And so again, that's bringing in that negative energy versus just loving on yourself, because if you put it in your schedule, you get things done, you put it out there, you're taking the chance of getting things out there. You know that you're growing. That's all you can do. Be compassionate towards yourself. Okay, then the next one I put in here because I don't care whatever topic we always talk about, it always comes up. You have to communicate. First of all, communicate to yourself that yourself is going to do this. But secondly, tell everyone around you, not everyone, but the closest people to you. If you are in a marriage, if you're dating someone, if you have children, if you have a close friend, if you've got a bot, whatever, those people that you see on your day in and day out, don't just go cold turkey like, I'm just going to be into self-love and everyone's looking at you, what is going on with her? Just communicate. And all you have to say is, listen, I've been learning some things. And one of the things for 2023 that I'd really like to do a better job for myself is to take care of myself a little bit more. So if it means I may close my door when I'm working for an hour to get something done, if I take my notifications off of my phone and I can't respond until, a certain time of the day, I will get back to you. But communicating what you're doing, and that way no one's going to wonder, why didn't she get back to me? What's going on with her? It's like, no, just clearly articulate what the changes that you want to go through.
Yeah, this goes back to boundaries. I know we're like within the mini series within a mini series, but I'm like, yes, go back to boundaries, go back to the identity gap. They all kind of tie in. This is really great for you for personal development and self-growth and self-love. It's super important to have those boundaries created. And those boundaries, we did mini series based on the relationships that are important to you. But we started with you first. And the last one, we did a bonus one on the relationship with time, which is all tied into here. This is really good stuff, not just because we're talking about it, because this is real. Like, this is 2023. We recorded those in 2022 at the end for a reason, because we're seeing these unhealthy relationships with women with themselves, with women with, everybody talks crap about time. I'm tired of hearing that. Like, I just don't have time. Well, we do. So go back to those. We're not going to go down that rabbit hole, but go back to that as well. All right. Number 4.
Ta-da. My eyes. Stop comparing yourself to others. We just said that with the social media, but we do it even outside of social media, right? You haven't seen someone for a while. Oh my gosh, she looks really good. What has she been doing? Because I haven't been doing that. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, really? Look at her children. They're so much more behaved than mine are. Yeah. Compare. Oh my gosh, her husband did that for her. Mine doesn't do it for me. Mm-hmm. No, their best friend, they went where? I never get to go there. Stop.
God, that sounds horrible when you're just saying it.
I know it does, because nothing about anything I just said was encouraging, uplifting, or loving on yourself. And here's the greatest thing. If you want to be a part of all that, if you want to do something, then call your best friend and say, hey, let's make time for each other, because that's going to be part of your self-love. Caring about other people that you want to spend time with because you care about yourself.
Yep. Oh, I love that. Okay, good. Yeah, I don't know what the bad juju. You're giving me bad energy. I don't like it. Okay. Don't worry about others. Oh, I love this one, about other people's opinion. Yes. No, please don't. We actually we talk about this with our clients all the time, but it's not their life. This is yours. So don't worry about what they have to say. Most women won't do what they want to do, or say what they want to say, or be who they want to be, because they're so worried about what everybody else has to say, think, or do. And I promise you, those opinions, we all know, it's because it's a reflection on them. It has nothing to do with you. So you do you, boo, and don't worry about anybody else's opinions.
Be kind and allow yourself to make mistakes. We actually just had 2 huge ones brought to our attention an hour ago. Yeah. It's okay. Guess what, world? I'm not perfect. Gio's not perfect. Hey, anybody listening to this, you're not perfect. You're going to make mistakes. Now, do you need to be excellent at what you do and think things through and slow down? All those things. Yes, we need to be the best that we can be when we're doing them. Yeah, but we're not bots. We're not computers. We're not rigid. We have feelings. We have thoughts. We have emotions. We get distracted. All those. It's okay as long as you know that. Hey, do my best, and that's all anyone could ever ask. That's all you can ever ask of yourself.
Yep.
So give yourself more credit.
All right, next one. Remember, your value doesn't lie in how your body looks. Oh, I love this one.
Oh my gosh,
so good. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole, but we'll see. We'll talk about it a little bit. But yes, it's so important, and this is for anybody. Really, it doesn't. You need, again, back to self-love. This is because we don't carve out the time. We're always doing, giving, worrying, and then it comes to, well, what about me? What if we stop and we just put the time into ourselves first? Set the intention, understand what are we happy with? What are we happy doing? Don't do something, again, going back, this all ties together to comparing yourself. I don't look like so-and-so. I'm not doing what's, okay, but that's fine. As long as you're happy and you're doing you, your value doesn't lie in that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. One thing I want to say about that, well, actually two. Number one, some of the most influential women in history, it had nothing to do with their bodies. And I always bring this person up, and not because I think that there's something wrong with her body. I feel like people just have attacked what she looks like is Oprah Winfrey. That woman has gone through hell and back with everybody making such negative comments about her weight loss, and not weight loss, and Jenny, all the things, right? Guess what? When you think about her, is that what you think about? Heck no. You know what you think about? She's a great interviewer. All of her things that she's given away, the philanthropies that she has, the leadership skills, those are the things that you think about. You do not think about her ups and downs with her weight. Secondly, women, let me just tell you a secret. The years and years and years that I was doing marital counseling, I don't think ever, and this is like real stuff, I don't think ever one of the men in a counseling session ever said, if she just had a better body. Yeah. Not even close. You know what they say? I wish she felt more free. I wish that we were freer in our intimate relationship. And I know that's because how she feels about herself. But when I see her, that's not what I see. I see the woman that I love. So we need to get out of our heads that we need to be a perfect size, whatever image that it is that you think that people are going to like. People like and love you just the way you are. So you love you just the way you are, even more importantly.
We love that.
Okay. Don't be afraid to let people go. Woo. No. Okay. If family, friends, and close ones are really, they're on your side, they understand, they want to make things work, they want to at least just like, hey, just talk to me, I want to understand what's going on with you. They're going to be open. And even if it's just a little bit, it doesn't matter. Even if the support is this much. But if anybody is not going with the flow of you saying, I really want to take better care of myself, listen to that. Listen to me just saying it. If I came to Gio and I said, listen, there's someone in my life that just really doesn't want me to be a better version of myself and take care of myself in the best way I know how. I think she'd be like, well, whoever it is, they're out of here. Right? Even the concept of me contemplating, is there an option to stay best friends with them? No, not even. They're not going to serve you. You're not going to serve them.
No.
It's not meant to be. But because we think, well, but that was so-and-so, and oh my gosh, that's going to, guess what? You now open the door and availability and space in your world to invite someone in that does understand your personal growth journey and where you want to go.
Yeah. We talked about this in other podcasts, but I love this because it actually, this is change. This is part of change and growth and transitions and endings. We talk about this with divorce. We talk about this with the hardest relationships, close family, best friends. It's okay. And you do need to have closure and an ending, and it doesn't need to be bad. It's okay. Some people don't like change and don't like growth and don't understand that. They served a purpose for that season. They had a beautiful friendship. Maybe you were super close to them when you were a kid, and when you were family, like, closer when you were younger. But the point here is it's okay to end that. And yes, you are making room for other people, but you're also making room for you. A lot of times we do. People go, oh, I have so much on my plate. I don't have enough time. You are the one that's putting that. You're the one making your schedule. My husband's not making my schedule. My kids aren't making my schedule. My business isn't making my schedule. Yes, you may have a corporate job and you know that you have an allotted amount of time, but it's really, really important that that time is more valuable for you and more valuable for the person or the people that are about the community that you're about to impact and change and bring in. And it doesn't have to, like, endings aren't bad. So I think it's also in how you think about the relationship and how to end it and how to have closure. I think so a lot of people have a hard time moving on because there wasn't closure, and it's okay. It's okay to end things. And I promise you, 9 out of 10, we're gonna be like, no, I want what you're having. I want to do what you're doing. And that one person's like, yeah, it's just not for me. That's totally fine. They're gonna have their people, we're gonna have our people. So next one.
Process your pain and fear, plus feel joy, which is going to be equal freedom. Okay. It's okay. It's literally okay to process, think, and feel your pain or your fear, because that is a true emotion. Don't mask it. Let it happen. Let it go. Then add in the complete opposite feeling. Feel the joy. Feel things that you're grateful for. Feel things that you're like, I am so happy that this exists, or I'm this way, or I do these things, or my characteristics are these way. Fill yourself back up with amazing things, and that will equate moving towards freedom. But it's okay to process that pain. I think we've been taught, especially in American society, to cover and mask everything up. I think that is killing us internally. I do believe that there's certain diseases that creep up in our lives because we hold on to things, and it just manifests itself in your body, and it starts to grow and develop, and you don't see it until it's too late. And then all of a sudden the doctor comes back and says, here, because you're wearing your body down and you're feeling those emotions, not as in, I'm going to release them. I'm going to feel and release. We're feeling those motions over and over and over. And it's almost like you're reliving something traumatic over and over, and you don't need to be doing that.
No, which goes back to what the definition of self-love is. It's that emotional, physical, psychological, like all of that is part of self-love. So when you're holding on to the negative, your actions that you take are going to be negative. So we just want to make sure that you are processing through all the emotions because it's important. Okay, the next one. Look for the beauty in the simple things in nature. We so forget. We're working on some amazing content. I'm actually working on some really cool reels. And nature is like in a lot of them. And I think it's crazy because for those of you guys who know me, I'm not like a super nature outdoorsy type of person. But lately, I don't know why, unless it's water, I'm on a beach all the time. I would totally do that. But there is something about being with earth and not to be like woo-woo, just to we even talking with the client about it, like just getting out of your zone. Most of us are working from home in an office, like in this, like not a box, but in the same atmosphere over and over again. So little things, the tiniest things, going for a walk, being outside, just doing stuff that makes you feel joy and happiness. See how these all connect? Give you that sense of freedom and gives you, again, back to the feelings, energized, like the feeling of greatness is going to come through the little things. And I think we forget. We spend all the time on the negative. We like, oh, all the bad things that are happening, all the situation. But it's like when the good things come or the smallest thing happens, we just kind of go, okay, great, it happened. Let's move on.
Yeah. Last week it was raining and I went on my little bike ride and it was coming down. I didn't bring my little rain jacket, but boy, the water was hitting my glasses because I didn't wear my contacts that day, of course. But the minute is, first of all, when you really pay attention, rain has a smell to it. And here in Houston, depending on where you are, it can either smell not so great or it can smell refreshing. Yeah. I was somewhere where it smelled really refreshing. But we're always talking about you can have a negative feeling or you can have a positive feeling with an experience. My experience at that moment was the rain coming down. Now, most of you are like, oh my God, I would have died. I was in hog heaven, so happy. And as the rain hit my face, it was like all I could think of was that feeling of a little girl playing on a soccer field with the rain and the mud and like that, almost that reckless abandonment feeling where you're just like, I don't care how dirty I get. Yeah. I don't care what's going on, the way I'm going to get that, whatever it is. It was amazing. It was a special time. It probably only lasted 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. But I felt so rejuvenated just by a 10-minute rain hitting my face. But that's what we mean by just enjoy the simple things in nature, because it can do something for you if you're open to it that you've never experienced or haven't experienced in a long time.
Yeah. And you're using all your senses too, which I think we also don't get to do it all at once. You're saying it, and all I'm thinking, and I bet when she got home, it was all wet and there's drippies everywhere. And she's like, oh my God, I didn't wear my raincoat. But I'm sure being in the moment, it's the 5 senses because you're using the touch, the feel, the smell. But yes, I love that.
Don't worry. I have those set up in my garage. For all the rain moments.
All right. Yay. Well, we're excited. We hope you love the series. I think, again, go back. If you're listening now or watching now, go back to part 1 and 2. We do realize, but we don't realize when we're doing these things, how connected they are. Go back to setting boundaries, because that's going to help with communication and understanding how do I put myself first? Because I've not done that before. So the how is obviously time, spend the time, have some clear intention of what you need, what you want, but then how you're communicating that and how you're creating boundaries. And then the identity gap series just ties in because that's really your purpose for you. It's your relationship with yourself, not with anyone else. So go back to those 2 so that you have some just extra work. This is all for you. We also created a self-love checklist. So we've been promoting that all on our social medias. It's on our website as well. There's a link in the comments here. If you're listening or watching, you can just click the link and download your self-love checklist.
And again, the checklist is not going to be items that you're used to seeing. It's worth going and reading just to go, okay, what are these 2 fools talking about? Because it's going to be a little bit outside the box, but really make you think, is this something that I'm doing? And is this a part of my loving myself?
Yeah. And we hope that this series has helped you understand a little bit more about what self-love is and understanding that it's not a month. That was January was self-love month. No, it's every day, every moment. The more you start to understand what a strong relationship with yourself is, the easier and better relationships you're going to have with everyone else. And we're always thankful for our sponsors. This episode is sponsored by Carrie Andrews with Your Business Bestie. She helps you automate, delegate, and elevate everything in your business. So you can also get all of her information in the show notes and see how she can help you with your business. So until next week.